Fighting out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the Fighting City, USA, introducing Christopher Ice Cold Brooker, former USB and NABF junior middleweight champion, Mr. Steve.
Steve Rolls entered the Bell Center with a solid record of 20-1, 11 KOs, aiming to showcase his skill and reaffirm his standing as one of Canada's top middleweight contenders.
Answers back now with his own combination, fires out and lands a left hand. Good jab by Rolls after the right. Good scoring.
Having bounced back from his lone defeat against Golovkin, Rolls viewed the Brooker bout as the perfect stage to prove his resilience and sharpen his credentials for another run toward world-level competition.
As much as I'm grateful and I'm happy for this, I'm coming to win.
Known for his disciplined boxing fundamentals and steady work rate, he was determined to deliver a statement win that would put him back in the conversation for bigger fights.
But back in action here tonight at the Bell Center in this 10-rounder at 168 against...
Like we spoke earlier, 2 fights ago, Steve Rolls was stopped by Triple G. So both men looking to kind of show that they still have what they have left. We both...
His shortcomings in the past and where his weaknesses are. And already you can see that Brooker taking a little bit more of the initiative, and then he would kind of react to what was happening. He says he wants to start the war now. He wants to be first with his jab. And
very, very dedicated. And as you can see, he's going to just take his time and slowly do his best to break down Brooker here.
One of them was to Andre Durrell, which you referenced. One of them was to Ahmad Albiali, and he feels he's a little better positioned here at 168, and he just landed a good overhand right a moment ago. He's able to come back from surgery. The tentative date that we've been told would be March in New York City. Round 2 begins. Steve Rolls and Christopher Brooker.
A very accurate fast puncher, and he lands a beautiful right hand right there.
So far.
Brooker comes back with a sluggish right hand there.
He does, and Brooker's landed a couple of decent right hands.
A lot faster and a lot crisper.
And those kinds of flush right hands we've seen.
Some good work on the inside from Rolls there, dig into the body.
Brooker giving a little bit more ground in this round, and that's another key I think is here, Steve, is forward, because he's a somewhat undersized 168-pounder at about 5'10", 5'11", but he actually has a pretty long reach.
Fast, smart boxer with very good quick counters, but he can walk a guy forward, and just like he did there, landed a good right hand to the body.
That I don't think Brooker was particularly fond of. I'll do it for round 2.
Good right hand by Steve Rolls over top.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Seconds out.
Brooker's corner, a lot more authoritative. His trainer yelling at him, telling him what to do.
Is where he is because he's been in this position before. He's 20-1. He's going to let Brooker come forward, counter punch him, break him down.
You heard Tommy Howitt telling Steve Rolls, hey, the jab to the body is there. The right hand to the body is there. Brooker, of course, has heard the chatter of the potential fight between Rolls and a Cup.
Good shoulder roll by Steve Rolls. Shoulder, not getting excited, and still just picking him apart with straight shots like that right hand down the middle.
And that right hand might have wobbled Brooker. And you know that considering some of the highlight reel knockout losses on Brooker's resume that...
I know Steve, and I know that he's a very confident guy, and he wants to put on a highlight knockout tonight. He's not going to go crazy to try to get it, but I know he'd definitely love it, as any fighter would, right? Just staying consistent with what's working for him. Inside. And it seems that Brooker's really lost his sail, lost his wind here in the 3rd round.
And Christopher Brooker.
Like I said, this is discipline of Steve Rolls. A nice shoulder roll there, but earlier we saw the beautiful...
Steve Rolls looking to build upon an excellent round 3 where he might have wobbled Christopher Brooker. Ages of his career, he was drawing comparisons to Gabe Rosado because, like Rosado, he didn't really have an amateur career. Big risks in his career against some big names, and right now he is taking some big shots from Steve Rolls, who rocks him with a right hand along the ropes.
Good work from Rolls, working the head and the body.
Landed some good shots in round 3, and now in round 4, he's looking like a fighter who believes he could end this fight. Good right hand to the body from Rolls as well, not forgetting about that body work.
Like I said, Steve Rolls is a very, very disciplined man, very hard working. Rolls is waiting for Brooker to throw a lazy jab to counter with that overhand right again.
How it can improve you as a fighter. We'll talk about this a little bit more when it comes to Beterbiev Decare, but in Rolls' case, to train, and it's no secret that that can make you a better athlete and a better fighter.
So, overall, a great experience for Steve Rolls. Unfortunately, he didn't get the win that he was looking for, but a great learning experience.
Steve, as you remember, wasn't always easy getting fights in Ontario, in his home province for
and then he started traveling to gyms and gaining that experience, getting in the ring with all different sorts of guys, trainers, and he made on his own. So hats off to Steve. And a good counter right hand.
And that's enabling him to kind of use those shoulder roll elements and just load up that right hand.
The good body work from both.
Rolls thought about a big left hook on the inside, takes a step back instead, and measures Brooker with a right hand.
He's trying to throw over the top of the left hook, so you got to make sure this is up. That's all.
He's coming to you. But hard, let him go back bust. Hard as you can go. Good ducking like he's getting in here. Like you got something.
Very elementary. Punch harder. I believe his coach said, you're punching like you don't want to hurt this guy. But what's coming back, and for good reason. He's been rocked already by Rolls, particularly by those right in the 5th round when Rolls, I felt, for periods of time in that round, is maybe working on his defense. Rolls to kind of remind people, that, I wasn't just a flash in the pan. I didn't just appear once against Triple G and on Showbox once. To your point, Steve, Rolls, we haven't seen him since January of 2020. That's pre-pandemic. That's a different lifetime ago.
The system to gain his full confidence back, to be at a level where he can be contend for a world title.
Final 30 seconds of round 6. We saw Rolls had a good left hook to the body a moment ago. On your defense, but do you think there is kind of that mentality? Because it felt like in round 4 in particular that this was headed towards.
Like I said, Steve's not a wild, crazy fighter. He's not going to go out there swinging wild for the teeth, slowly breaking you down and stopping you a little bit later in the fight.
Right, so you think that even though he probably saw Brooker breaking down, he wasn't going to... Good shot to the body there from
Beautiful
Rolls.
right hand to the body. And Brooker really doesn't have too much left on his punches, Corey. This early body work from Steve and these clean, effective counter shots and right hands like that.
A sign that he's starting to tire or is just being worn down. Final 10 seconds of another dominant round for Rolls, who gets out of the way of a Brooker right hand. As Brooker looks a little unsteady.
Very, very good round for Steve Rolls. A lot of clean shots landed to the head end of the body. There was the right hand we seen earlier in the round, landed clean to the body. And the overhand right had been money for Steve all night long, especially over the jab of Brooker.
Maybe get Christopher Brooker out of here, although if he just continues doing what he was doing in round 7, that might just happen naturally.
He really was landing often and clean against Brooker, and he started off round 8 here very aggressively.
Grant, part of the Fighting Grant family, has been a big part of his pro career over the years. Good shot there from Rolls.
There are 2 right hands right on the money for Steve Rolls.
Kind of like a shot that Artur Beterbiev likes to throw. We'll get to that in a little bit. There's another one. You know, Steve, considering some of the knockouts that Brooker has taken to this point in his pro career.
Score a knockout. The kid has had some brutal losses. He's been taking nothing but punishment tonight. I think it'd be a good idea, no one would complain if the corner decided to stop it here.
It makes it a difficult decision for the referee. But perhaps the corner has to step in here because Brooker
hasn't won a round.
Brooker didn't react well to that right hand. Now just kind of hanging on here along the ropes. Trying to stay upright. And he will hold on to Rolls to do so.
And the counter shot, like I said, over top, underneath has been beautiful all night long.
Seconds out.
Round 9 begins. And Rolls starts it off with a flush left hook. You certainly cannot question Brooker's toughness here. And there's a, you know.
A Hail Mary right hand. The Philly toughness coming out of Christopher Brooker here tonight. Taking a lot of clean, hard shots to the head end of the body.
Another counter shot there from Brooker, but Rolls right back with a straight right hand, and Brooker is in trouble.
That right hand hurt him.
3, 4, 5, 6, 9.
Referee waves it off.
And that will do it. Steve Rolls.
Well, 3 right hands in a row, followed by a couple small hooks and another big right hand. He couldn't miss the right hand all night, Corey, whether it's off the counter of the jab from Brooker, or just right down the middle. The right hand was a money shot for Steve Rolls tonight.
As referee Steve Saint-Germain halts this contest, the winner by knockout, le gagnant par KO, Steve Mr.